Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to explore the range function in Python. We are going to use the WinPython, which does not require installation. You can simply download WinPython from the internet and place it in a folder and execute any of the given user interfaces. So we are going to use the Spyder interface and it looks like this. So let's start with our today's tutorial. So the range function is very commonly used in Python and it is the primary way we handle iterations in Python. The range function that we are going to explore today is not just a simple function but also highly optimized and highly efficient in terms of memory usage. So this is very important function to learn and to understand. And not only that, it is also highly flexible. It allows you to use one, two or three arguments. So if we use a simple one argument range function, it will look like this, and we can store the result of the range function in a variable. Let's call this variable values, and we can use the print function to print the variable values. So this is our range function. The print function will not show you the values generated by the range function. Rather, it will display the definition of your range function. So here the range function starts with 0 and ends at 5. The print function will only show you the definition of your range function. To get the output of your range function, the values generated by your range function, we need to use the for loop, and let's use the for loop to get the values from the values variable, and now we have a list of values which were generated through this range function. So as you can see, these start with 0 and end at 4 because 5, the stop value, is not inclusive, and the list starts with 0. By default, the range function starts with 0. It is 0 based function, and the stop value is not included in the list, and total number of values will amount to this value if the single argument is used. So this is when we use a single argument. We can also use two arguments, and if we use the two arguments, the first argument is for start value and the second argument is for the stop value. In a single argument, the only value we input here is for the stop value, and the list always starts from 0. And in the two arguments, in case of two arguments, the first value is for the start value. So let's run this program now, and now we have a list which starts with 1 and ends at 49. And just as we told you, that the stop value is not included in the list. And this is how we use two arguments in a range function. We can also use three arguments, and in addition of start value, stop value, the third argument becomes the step value. So let's run this program now, and we will end up with 5 values, so starting with 1 ending at 41, and the difference between two values is the step value. And in this sequence, 1, 11, 21, 31, 41, the next value would have been 51, but since we are stopping at 50, therefore the list stops at 41. Let's change this step to 5 and let's see what happens. So now there is a step of 5 between each value, and we are ending up with these many values ending with 46. So again, next value would have been 51, but since we are stopping at 50, therefore the last value is 46. And this is how we use the range function with 1, 2, and 3 arguments. We can also create a range in descending order. For example, we can start with 10 and end at 1 with one step, and this will give us 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 all the way to 2. And just like before, the stop value is not included. We can also change the step to, for example, 3, and this will give us 10, 7, 4. Just remember that when you are using the range function in descending order, the step should be in negative. In Python, the range is a lazy object because it does not actually generate and store these values in memory. Rather, it generates these numbers on the fly when they are called. So there is a way we can verify this fact, and that is by using the size function from the sys library. So let's first import sys, and then we will print sys.getsizeof values. So this will give us the size of our range, which is 48. And what if we change this to 1 to 100, which will obviously generate more values, but the size is still the same. What about 1000? Again, the size is same. What about million? And still the size is same, which means that these values are not actually being generated and stored in the memory. Instead, they are generated on the fly when they are required in the program. So let's check that by using the print function and asking it to display the 99th value from the values. And let's run this, and this is our value 100. So the size of the object is still the same, and we have the value as well. And with this we end our today's tutorial. We will see you in future with another topic. Have a nice day and have fun learning Python.